Hello everyone. In this video I'll be dealing with force, criminal force, assault, kidnapping and abduction. These five topics will be covered in this video. Section 349 deals with force and states that a person is said to use force to another if he causes motion, changes of motion, or cessation of motion to that other, or if he causes to any substance such motion or change of motion or cessation of motion as brings that substance into contact with any part or that of that other's body, or with anything which that other is wearing or caring for carrying, or with anything so situated that such contact affects the other's sense of feeling, provided that uh, the person causing the motion, change of motion, cessation of motion causes motion, change of motion and cessation of motion in one of the three ways described. First, by his own bodily power. Second, by disposing any substance in such a manner that the motion or change of cessation of motion takes place without any further act on his part or on the part of any other person. Third, by inducing any animal to move, change its motion or cease to move. Okay, so here the force is said to be done if it is done in three ways: by body power, by disposing any substance, and by inducing any animal to move, change or cease to move. Simple example देती हूँ. By body power, अगर मैं ए को जाके push कर रही हूँ on road, here I am using my physical body power. I am using my body power to get in contact with A so that I can push him. So here it is one of the way of using a force. Okay, the second way is by disposing any substance in such a manner that the motion or change or cessation of motion takes place without any further act on his part or part of the other. मैंने जाके एक स्टोन फेंका. ओके, वो स्टोन मैंने ए के ऊपर फेंका और मेरे को पता है कि वो या तो ए पे लगेगा, या तो ए के कपड़े पे लगेगा, या तो ए के साथ जो सामान है उसके ऊपर लगेगा. Okay, that is, I am disposing any substance in that manner. So it is also one way of using force or causing the motion, change of motion or cessation of motion. Third, by inducing any animal to move, change its motion or cease or move. एक बंदा घोड़े पे सवार है, मैंने उधर जाके पटाखा फोड़ दिया. अब मेरे पटाखे फोड़ने की वजह से क्या हुआ? That the horse has increased its speed. As soon as the horse has changed its speed, I have caused it to change its motion. It is the act done by me. So it is the third way of using the force. These are the three ways through which the force is done. And why this force is done? The force is done for both three things. That is to cause motion, to change of motion, or cessation of motion to that other. So this is the meaning and definition of force given under section 349. Section 350 deals with criminal force, and it states that whoever intentionally uses force to any person without that person's consent in order to commit any offense, or intending by the use of such force to cause, or knowing it to be likely that by the use of such force he will cause injury, fear, or annoyance to the person to whom the force is used, he is said to commit criminal force to that other person. अभी हम लोग ने force पढ़ा. The force simply states that if I am using three methods, three ways: by my body, by disposing any substance, or by inducing any animal, I am using these three substances to cause motion, to change the motion, or cessation, that is to stop the motion. Now when I am using that force, okay, simplifying the definition, coming to point 1, a person is said to commit a criminal force when I'm doing that act intentionally, when I'm using force intentionally and without that person's consent. Okay. Second, I'm using that force without that person's consent in order to commit any offense. Now this act has become an illegal force. Okay. By use of such illegal force to cause, or knowing that the use of such illegal force will illegally cause injury, fear, or annoyance to the person against whom the force has been used. Giving the illustration, जो मैंने आपको पिछला illustration दिया था, एक बंदा नहा रहा है, okay? I am using my body force. The first one under section 359, the first way I am using my body force. मैंने जाके उसके बाल्टी में उबलता वाला पानी डाल दिया, and that too I have done without the person's consent, and I have done it so as to cause hurt to him. Hurt has been explained under the previous video. Okay, to cause hurt to him. That is to in order to commit an offense. Now by this act, that is using my body intentionally to do a particular act, and that too without the person's consent, has become an illegal force now. एक force था, उसको illegal कब हुआ? When I'm doing it intentionally without that person's consent and in order to commit any offense. Now I'm doing this and knowing that this illegal force, okay, this force will illegally cause injury or fear or annoyance to the person on whom I'm using it. Now if that person is using that water, he'll be, if that person is using that water, it will affect his sense of feeling, and it may thereby cause injury, fear or annoyance to that person. So these 3 points, when they come together, it is called criminal force. Giving you another example for better understanding. Taking another example, एक बंदा घोड़े पे सवार है, and that horse is walking normally slowly. The person sitting on the horse is comfortable. Now I have lashed that horse from behind. Okay? अब जो मैंने lash किया जिसकी वजह से घोड़े की speed बढ़ गई, this is force. I have used force. Now that lashing was without the person's consent, and I have intentionally done that so that the horse increases its speed or horse changes its motion. The first point हो गया, I have done it intentionally. मैंने वो horse को lash मारा without the consent of the person in order to commit an offense कि वो बंदा घोड़े पर से गिर जाए, उसको injury या hurt हो जाए. Okay, and to cause injury, fear or annoyance. I have done this thing to cause injury, fear or annoyance. That is to commit any illegal act or offense. So when I am doing it, I am causing injury, annoyance or fear to third person. So the overall act of mine of intentionally lashing the horse from behind is use of criminal force. That I have used criminal force here. I have thrown a stone or person, okay, intending or knowingly it to be likely that the stone will thus be brought into the contact with Z or Z cloth or with something carried by Z, or that it will strike water and dash upon against Z's cloth or something carried by Z. Okay, so here if the throwing of that stone produce the effect of causing any substance to come into the contact of Z or Z's cloth or anything that Z is carrying, I have used force. But if I have done this act without the consent of Z, then in that case, and intending that my act would cause injury, fear or annoyance to Z, then in that case, I have used criminal force. I hope the definition of criminal force is clear to you all. Now moving further, section 351 deals with assault. The section is read as, whoever makes any gesture or any preparation, intending or knowing it likely that such gesture or preparation will cause any person present to apprehend that he would make that gesture or preparation is about to use criminal force to that person is said to commit assault. Explanation: mere words do not amount to an assault, but the words which a person uses may give to his gesture or preparation such a meaning as may make those gesture or preparation amount to assault. Simplifying the definition, a person is said to commit an assault to another person where the person makes gesture or preparation. Here, if only I am using a word and I am saying कि तू जा यहाँ से, मैं तेरे पर पत्थर मार दूंगा, or if you are not moving, I am going to throw a stone on you. Okay, but the gesture of preparation, picking up a stone, putting my hand behind so that I can use a physical force to throw or hurt him. Okay, मैंने हाथ पीछे किया कि मैं पत्थर में पीछे से जोर से आगे घुमा के मारूंगी. Then in that case, I am preparing it, and the gesture that I have lifted the stone. That is the preparation and the gesture that I am using my hand, moving my hand behind, so as to use the force. Okay, intending or knowing that it would be likely that such gesture of preparation will cause any person who is present at the time to apprehend that. Like if I have lifted a stone and I have stated that if you're not moving, I will be throwing that stone, and I have put my hand behind so that I can throw it with the pressure. This movement, this gesture, the person who is standing before me should get an apprehension that if he is not doing it, the preparation of the gesture that I am doing it, he apprehends that I will be using a criminal force. Okay, so that the person who makes the gesture or preparation is about to use criminal force to any person who is present at that time. So here simply I am stating कि मैंने उठाया, ओके मैंने एक स्टोन उठाया, वो स्टोन उठा के मैंने पीछे हाथ किया. अब जो मेरे सामने वाला उसको ये फीलिंग आने लगा दैट आई एम गोइंग टू यूज क्रिमिनल फोर्स. क्रिमिनल फोर्स एज स्टेटेड अर्लियर, क्रिमिनल फोर्स इज एन एक्ट और a use of force to cause injury, annoyance or hurt to or fear to that person against whom the force is being used. So here my act should cause fear, annoyance or injury, or should have an apprehension that it will cause injury, annoyance or fear to him. The act as well as my gesture, both the things should be taken into consideration. Here the elements, when I come to the elements or the ingredients of this section, the making of a gesture of preparation. Here the act, my act of picking up a stone or my act of taking my hand behind so that I can use the pressure to slap that person, this gesture through which a person has an apprehension. So two things, gesture of preparation and apprehension, as well as the knowledge has to be present, that accused intend or knew that I am aware that my act would make the person standing before me to have an apprehension that I will be using a criminal force on him. So these two things are important to constitute assault. Force, when I am talking about force, force के जितने ingredients है, that is important part of criminal force, and criminal force के definition और उसके ingredients are one part of the assault. So you need to remember all the three things, that is force, criminal force and assault. Now coming to the punishments of criminal force and assault, I have made it in a tabular form for easy understanding. Your CF refers to criminal force and A means assault in the middle column of this table. Section 352, which is general punishment of criminal force and assault. General punishment simply means that the offense committed without grave provocation. So here the punishment is of either description of a term which may extend to 3 years or fine of ₹500 or both. And if the offense is committed on provocation, then we need to come to section 358, which is the last in the last row. It deals with assaulting or use of criminal force on grave or sudden provocation. So if the act was committed with a grave provocation, that means there was a fight or someone has used certain words through which I have been provoked, and because of that I am using a criminal force or assault, then in that case my punishment will be reduced from 3 years to 1 month, and the punishment or the fine would be reduced from 500 rupees to rupees 200, or the punishment will be both. That means it will include either 1 month imprisonment of either description or fine of rupees 200. Then coming to assault or criminal force to deter a public servant from discharging his duty. If I am not allowing a public servant to discharge his duty, and for that I am using a force or assault, then in that case the punishment will be for 2 years or fine or both under section 353. 354 deals with women, use of criminal force or assault with intent to outrage the modesty of a woman, then in that case the punishment will be for 1 year, which may extend up to 5 years of either description and fine. 354 capital B deals with criminal force and assault. or assault to disrobe a woman. If I'm using criminal force or assault to disrobe a woman, this has been dealt in sexual offenses against women. So if I'm using criminal force or assault to disrobe a woman, the punishment will be for 3 years, minimum 3 years, which may extend to 7 years of either description, and fine. Then coming to section 355, which deals with assault or criminal force to dishonor a person. In that case, the punishment will be of either description for a term of 2 years, or fine, or both. Section 356 deals with assault or criminal force in committing or attempting to commit theft from a person. Then in that case, the punishment will be for 2 years, or fine, or both. Section 357 deals with assault or criminal force attempting to wrongfully confine a person. In that case, the punishment will be for 1 year, or fine up to 1000 rupees, or both. With this, I have completed criminal assault, criminal force, and assault. Now coming to kidnapping and abduction, which is dealt under section 359 to 374 of the IPC. Kidnapping, as per section 359, it means kidnapping is divided into two parts: kidnapping from India and kidnapping from lawful guardianship. So section 359 has given the two types, which is being defined under section 360 and 351. 361. Coming to the first type, that is kidnapping from India. Section 360 is read as whoever conveys any person beyond the limit of India without the consent of that person or of some person legally authorized to consent on behalf of that person is said to kidnap that person from India. So ये section के अंदर हम लोग को तीन ingredients मिलते हैं. First ingredient है that the person was kidnapped, that person was in India, okay, and that person, the accused, conveys that person, is moving that person from India beyond the limit of India, and that too without that person's consent, or third ingredient is without that person's consent or from the consent of the authorized person. सिंपल इलस्ट्रेशन के साथ एक्सप्लेन करती हूँ कि एक बंदे को मैंने इंडिया के बाहर या इन बाउंड्री ऑफ इंडिया के बाहर में लेके गई और वो बंदा बच्चा माइनर था. माइनर ने कंसेंट अगर दिया तो भी वो कंसेंट को कंसेंट नहीं किया जाता, बिकॉज माइनर कैन नॉट गिव कंसेंट और माइनर्स कंसेंट कैन नॉट बी काउंटेड. ओके, तो मैंने उस बच्चे को इंडिया के बाहर लेके चली गई. अब यहाँ पे फर्स्ट थिंग है दैट चाइल्ड वाज इन इंडिया, फर्स्ट इंग्रेडिएंट हो गया. उसको मैंने इंडिया की बाउंड्री के बाहर या इंडिया की लिमिट के बाहर उसको मैंने लेके गई. थर्ड थिंग, कंसेंट. किसी की भी कंसेंट या वो बच्चे की भी कंसेंट काउंट नहीं की जाएगी. ओके, सो दीज थ्री इंग्रेडिएंट्स आर देयर. नाउ यू कैन लुक इनटू द सेक्शन. दिस सेक्शन कैन बी एप्लीकेबल इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ एनी पर्सन. इसके अंदर कोई भी एज लिमिट नहीं दिया गया है. इट इज ओनली टॉकिंग अबाउट द पर्सन. सो द पर्सन मे बी अ माइनर और अ मेजर, अ सेन और इनसेन पर्सन, अ मेल और अ फीमेल पर्सन. Then coming to the second type of kidnapping, that is kidnapping from the lawful guardian. The section is read as whoever takes or entice any minor under 16 years of age if a male, or under 18 years of male if a female, okay, or any person of unsound mind out of the keeping of lawful guardian of such minor or person of unsound mind without the consent of such guardian is said to kidnap such minor or person from lawful guardian. Coming to the explanation, it states that lawful guardian in this section includes the person lawfully entrusted with the care or custody of such minor child or person. Exception in this section does not extend to any act of any person who in good faith believes himself to be the father of an illegitimate child, or who in good faith believes himself to be entitled to lawful custody of child, unless such act is committed for an immoral or unlawful purpose. So the exception is merely a good faith if the act is done by the good faith, believing that the person is the father of that child, or in good faith, thinking that he is entitled to the lawful custody of the child, then only those acts will be exempted. Okay. The case law that I have mentioned here is the state of Haryana versus Rajaram. This is an important case law because it is talking about the consent given by the girl who was at the age of 14 years. Okay. So basically this case is dealing with the kidnapping of a child who was of the age of 14 years from the lawful guardianship of the person. In this case, it was held that the persuasion that the child has given the consent, okay, that the persuasion was by the accused created a willing on the part of the minor which kept her away from her lawful guardianship, and therefore it amounted to kidnapping. So the willingness of her, because the child was induced by the accused and hence the act was taken by the child, that would also amount to kidnapping. Talking about the ingredients of this section, first ingredient states that there must be taking or inciting of a minor or a person of unsound mind. Second is that the minor should be of the age of 16 if male and age of 18 if female. Third, that taking or inciting must be out of the keeping of the local guardian of such minor or person of unsound mind. And fourth, that taking or inciting must be without the consent of the guardian. Take an illustration कि मैंने एक बच्ची को जिसका फादर उसको उसका सिंगिंग में वो बच्ची इंटरेस्टेड है, उसको उसका फादर सिंगिंग करने नहीं दे रहा है. आई हैव इंड्यूस, क्योंकि वो मेरी फ्रेंडली हो गई थी, मैंने उस बच्ची को इंड्यूस किया कि तुम्हारा फादर तुमको ऐसा करने नहीं देगा, इससे अच्छा तुम अपने फादर को छोड़ के मेरे साथ आ जाओ, हम लोग दूसरे शहर में जाएंगे. बट माई इंटेंशन इन टेकिंग दैट चाइल्ड was not to take her to another place. My intention was to take that child for immoral purpose. Okay. मेरा काम था कि मेरे इंटेंशन थी कि मैं उसको इमोरल पर्पस के लेके आऊंगी, बट आई इंड्यूस्ड हर शोइंग दैट आई एम doing it in good faith. I'm asking her to come to me in good faith and leave her father. So when I'm taking that child away from the father, it will be coming under kidnapping from lawful guardianship, because I'm not coming under exception. If I would have done any act which is coming under the exception, wherein I think that I have the lawful, that I am the father or the mother of the child, and in good faith I am taking that person out of the custody or out of the guardianship of lawful person, then I will be coming under the exception. But the example which I gave, मेरा intention खराब था, ना मैं उसकी father हूँ ना mother हूँ ना कोई good faith के साथ मैं उसको अपने पास बुला रही हूँ, but my intention is to take her and for an immoral activities. तो उसके लिए जो मैंने एक्ट के लिए जो मेरे इंटेंशन के लिए मैं उसको मेरे पास लेके आई हूँ, या मैंने उसको बोला है कि वो मेरे पास आ जाए, मैंने उसको इंड्यूस किया कि वो अपने फादर से दूर रह के वो सेम सिटी में रहते हुए मेरे साथ रहे, देन इन दैट केस दैट वुड आल्सो अमाउंट टू किडनैपिंग. Now coming to abduction, 362 deals with abduction. It states that whoever by force, compels, or by any deceitful means induces any person to go from any place is said to abduct that person. Abduction simply means carrying away of a person by fraud or by force. If I am doing this with an intention to commit any offense, that will be coming under abduction. Intention of that person is not required, but if I am deceitfully inducing a particular person by force or by fraud, that is counted as abduction. So under this section, there are two main ingredients. The first is by force or deceitful means, and the second is to go from one place to another, to go from a place, to move out from a place. That is the second ingredient. So when I'm talking about the first ingredient, that is force or deceitful means, so the actual force should be used, not merely by words. तू जाए उधर से, नहीं तो फिर मैं तेरे को मारूंगी. Not that. मैंने आप लोगों को क्रिमिनल फोर्स और फोर्स के एग्जांपल में एक्सप्लेन किया था. फोर्स मीन्स टू डू एन एक्ट which threatens the person. So here if I'm moving a pistol, या फिर मैं उसको pistol दिखा के बोल रही हूँ कि if you are not moving out I'll shoot you, come with me, then in that case the actual force, that removing of the pistol and threatening, is the first ingredient, and then taking that person from that particular place. Okay, that is the second ingredient. When I'm talking about the second ingredients, to go from a place, okay, in the offense of abduction, the movement of a person being abducted is necessary. Abduction is a continuing offense and requires not only moving of the victim from one place to another, but also the one being moved from one place to another. Okay, not only moving of the person from one place but also from one place to another, that is the continuous process of abduction. And if the person kidnapped, victims escapes the kidnapper, okay, and when found by the other person, and that other person is also not releasing the person who has been kidnapped, in that case the other person जिसके पास वो बंदा है, that will also be coming under the definition of abduction, that he has abducted the person. सिंपल इलस्ट्रेशन के साथ कि मैंने एक गन के साथ एक बच्चे को या एक बंदे को, इसमें एज का कोई भी लिमिट नहीं दिया गया है, मेल फीमेल कुछ भी नहीं दिया गया है, मैंने एक बंदे को गन के साथ अपने साथ बोले कि ये जगह से तुम चलो मेरे साथ, फ्रॉम प्लेस ए आई हैव टेकन दैट पर्सन टू प्लेस बी, आई हैव मूव दैट पर्सन विच इज कमिंग अंडर द सेकेंड इंग्रेडिएंट. फिर उसके बाद मैंने वहां पे उसको ले जाने के बाद वो बंदे को मैंने उस प्लेस से तीसरे प्लेस को दिया, या फिर दूसरे बंदे के हाथ में मैंने उस बंदे को थमा दिया. That now that person is from place B, that person is being shifted to place C through a person number 2, and that person number 2, he is also not releasing me, he is also keeping me, he has force and compel, or by deceitful manner he has kept me. Then in that case person number 2 is also coming under abduction. And if in this process that person who is being kidnapped escapes, अब वो भाग जाता है, उसके बाद भी वो किसी और के वहां जाता है, वो बंदा भी उसको छोड़ता नहीं है जब तक उसको पैसा नहीं मिलता या उससे कुछ इलीगल काम नहीं करवाता है. इन दैट केस द पर्सन नंबर 3 विल आल्सो बी कमिंग अंडर द डेफिनेशन ऑफ abduction. Okay, so if my intention is to cause grievous hurt or to dispose the person abducted as to put him in danger of being subject to grievous hurt or slavery or unnatural lust of any person, then that act will be coming under 367, which I'll be dealing later on. और अगर फिर मैंने एक बंदे को abduct किया मर्डर करने की रीजन से, then in that case I'll be coming under section 354 of IPC. Okay. Moving further to the punishment, section 363 deals with the punishment for kidnapping. Whoever kidnaps any person from India or from lawful guardianship shall be punished with imprisonment of either description, which may extend to 7 years, and shall also be liable to fine. Now coming to the differences between abduction and kidnapping, दोनों के अंदर same feature है, we are taking away the person. In kidnapping we are either taking the person out of India without the consent, or from the lawful person, from the lawful guardian's custody, and in abduction we are using the force so that the person moves from that place. Okay, so in both the things we are dealing with one person, and that too without the consent of that person. तो फर्स्ट थिंग आती है एज की, एज ऑफ द एग्रीव्ड पर्सन. इन केस ऑफ किडनैपिंग द एज ऑफ एग्रीव्ड पर्सन अकॉर्डिंग टू सेक्शन 361, which is kidnapping from the lawful guardianship, for male child it is 16, for female it is 18. जो आप लोगों को केस बताया था स्टेट ऑफ हरियाणा वर्सेस राजा राम, रिमेंबर दैट केस. एंड इन केस ऑफ अबडक्शन कोई एज लिमिट मेंशन नहीं किया गया. इट कैन बी एनी पर्सन who is either by force has been compelled or induced by any other person to go from any place. So it is irrespective of the age of the person. If the person has been induced or has been compelled by use of force to move from one place, so that person will be coming under abduction. So under abduction there is no age limit given. Under kidnapping age limit is given. Coming to the second difference, that is lawful guardianship. Under kidnapping, consideration of the age of the person being kidnapped, the crime involves the taking away from the guardianship of a lawful person who has been authorized by law to take care of minor, because we have mentioned the age. So because of that, we have a lawful guardian for that. So under kidnapping, because of age, we have a guardian. So kidnapping means taking away from child from the lawful guardianship. But in abduction, there is no limits, there is no consideration given to the age. Any person can be abducted. So lawful guardians or the removal from lawful guardianship is not a point for consideration under abduction. So the difference is removal from lawful guardianship is present there in kidnapping. Removal from lawful guardianship is not present in abduction. Then comes the means through which abduction or kidnapping or the offense has been committed. For kidnapping involves taking away or incitement by the kidnapper. That means the means used for such purpose is irrelevant. I am taking away in any which way. कुछ भी करके मैं वो बच्चे को लेके जा रही हूँ, कोई भी मीन्स इसके अंदर नहीं है. बट फॉर अबडक्शन आई एम यूजिंग फोर्स, कोवर्शन और डिसीटफुल मीन्स. फॉर किडनैपिंग अंडर 360 एंड 361 कोई स्पेसिफिक मीन्स नहीं दिया. आई एम जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट टेकिंग अवे और इनसाइटिंग द पर्सन. ओके, बट फॉर अबडक्शन आई एम यूजिंग force, compulsion or deceitfulness as the means of asking that person or forcing that person to move from a place. For kidnapping, as again फर्स्ट पॉइंट के हिसाब से वी कैन द किडनैपिंग की एज लिमिट जो दिया गया है, सो माइनर के लिए माइनर्स कंसेंट इज not a consent, so the concept of consent under abduction is irrelevant, but under kidnapping is irrelevant. But when talking about abduction, अगर बंदे ने जिस बंदे का abduct किया गया था, वो बंदा अगर बोलता है कि it was my consent that I moved from place A to place B, उधर उसका कुछ फोर्स कोअर्शन नहीं था, it was my consent, because यहाँ पे एज लिमिट नहीं है, then in that case if a person is stating that कि I was not being is giving his consent, then the punishment or the person would not be counted under abduction. मैंने एक बंदे को फोर्स किया गन के बेसिस पे कि तू ये प्लेस से उधर चल, मेरे को तेरे साथ शादी करनी है, फॉर दिस रीजन, गिविंग ए सिंपल एग्जांपल, देन इन दैट केस वो हो शादी के लिए भी नहीं होता है, बट उसके बाद वो बंदा बोलता है, जब उसको लेके आते हैं वो बंदा बोलता है कि नहीं मैं मेरी मर्जी से गया था, बिकॉज दैट चाइल्ड पर्सन वाज मेजर. उसने अगर बोला कि इट वाज माय कंसेंट, देन आई वुड नॉट बी चार्ज और आई वुड नॉट बी कमिंग अंडर द डेफिनेशन ऑफ abduction. Further to the aggravated form of kidnapping and the punishments, kidnapping or abduction and their punishments. First coming to section 363A, which deals with kidnapping or maiming a minor for the purpose of begging. Maiming means first I have kidnapped that child, and maiming means permanent disfigurement or permanent injury. जो हम लोग देखते हैं, जो भी begging purpose के लिए बच्चे लोग आते हैं, उनके ऊपर जो निशान रहता है that person is being hurt or burnt or is not having a hand, so all those things for the purpose of begging. The imprisonment here is of either description which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable to fine. For this section, the basic important things has to be noted, that the person who is being kidnapped has to be a minor. Firstly, the kidnapper should not be a lawful guardian or lawful person under whose custody the child is being given. The kidnapper would be obtaining the custody of the child with all the meanings and definitions given under section 360, 361 and 362. वो सारे प्रोसेस के बाद, उनमें से कोई एक प्रोसेस के बाद उसको बच्चे की कस्टडी मिलती है. Okay, the child or the person being kidnapped is being employed for one specific purpose, and that is begging. And the fifth one is that the kidnapper has maimed the minor for begging. Okay, I have given certain injury, and if all these ingredients are present, then the offense will be coming under section 363A. Then coming to section 364, which deals with kidnapping or abduction in order to murder. The punishment for this offence is imprisonment for life or rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable for fine. So for coming under this section, any offence for coming under this section, two things has to be done. That the person kidnapped, a person kidnaps or abducts any other person, and this act is done in order to either murder or dispose of as to put in danger of being murdered. अगर ये दोनों ingredients मिलते हैं कोई एक offense में, then it will be coming under kidnapping or abduction in order to murder or put that person under certain circumstance or danger of being murdered. Then that person's punishment will be for life imprisonment, rigorous imprisonment for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable for fine. Simple illustration ले लो. A kidnaps Z from India, intending or knowing it to be likely that Z may be sacrificed to an idol. A has committed the offence defined under this section. Okay. A forcibly carries or entices B away from his home in order that B may be murdered. A has committed an offence under this section. Next comes section 364A, which states that whoever kidnaps or abducts any person or keeps a person in detention after such kidnapping or abduction and threatens to cause death or hurt to such person or by his conduct gives rise to a reasonable apprehension that such person may be put to death or cause hurt or death to such person in order to compel the government or any foreign state or international intergovernmental organization or any other person to do or abstain from doing any act or to pay a ransom shall be punished with an imprisonment for life and shall also be liable for fine. So here, for coming under this section, the ingredients must be noted down. First ingredient, that a kidnapping or abduction of a person has to take place, और कीपिंग सच पर्सन इन डिटेंशन आफ्टर अबडक्टिंग और किडनैपिंग, उसको हम लोग बाहर नहीं छोड़ रहे हैं, उसको हम लोग डिटेन करके रख रहे हैं. थर्ड, उसमें थ्रेट टू कॉज डेथ और हर्ट ऑफ दैट पर्सन और गिव्स राइज टू एप्रीहेंशन दैट सच person may be put to death or cause hurt or death to such person. Okay. Then coming to fourth, this act has been done to compel either the government or any foreign state or international government organization or any other person to do a particular thing or abstain from doing or pay some ransom. So this for this thing, एक किडनैपिंग हो रही है, वो किडनैपिंग हम लोग उसको कर रहे हैं और उस बंदे को डिटेन करके रखे हैं, उसके बाद उसको थ्रेटन कर रहे हैं उसके जान लेने के लिए, उसको ग्रीवियस हर्ट पहुंचाने के लिए, और उसके बाद हम लोग जो चार कैटेगरीज है उन बंदों को कंपेल करने के लिए ये एक्ट किए हैं. देन दैट पर्सन विल बी कमिंग अंडर सेक्शन 364A. Then coming to section 365, which is read as whoever kidnaps or abducts any person with intent to cause that person to be secretly or wrongfully confined shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and shall also be liable for fine. Then coming to section 366, which is dealing with kidnapping, abduction or inducing women to compel her marriage. So here the punishment is imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall also be liable for fine. So यहाँ पे ingredients क्या क्या आते हैं, जो बंदे का किडनैपिंग या abduction हो रहा है उसको वो फीमेल होना चाहिए, वो वुमेन होना चाहिए. ये एक्ट किया जा रहा है with an intent that she may be compelled to marry any person against her will or knowing it to be likely that she will be compelled. Third, in order that she may be forced or seduced into illicit intercourse or knowing that she will be forced or seduced. So यहाँ पे हम लोग ने फीमेल का किडनैपिंग किया है और वो किडनैपिंग करने के लिए 4 रीजन है, या तो उसकी शादी करानी है अगेंस्ट हर विल, या जानते हैं कि उसकी शादी हो सकती है, या फिर कोई इलिसिट इंटरकोर्स के लिए, या ये जानते हैं कि वो इलिसिट इंटरकोर्स के लिए फोर्स या seduce की जाएगी. If those things are being committed, then the offense will be coming under section 366. अब आपको एग्जांपल देती चलती हूँ किडनैपिंग फॉर रैंसम, दैट इज 364A का. जैसे एक टेररिस्ट ने इंडिया के कोई एक ऑफिसर को किडनैप करके रखा है. नाउ ही इज आस्किंग फॉर द रिलीज ऑफ one of the prisoner of theirs. Okay, A is a terrorist. उस एक person is a terrorist who is inside the imprisonment. मैंने the person who is a terrorist, he has kidnapped or abducted one of the official of India. उसके बाद the act states either asking a person to do an act or omit an act or पे ransom. Then in that case मैं उसको एक एक्ट करने के लिए बोल रही हूँ, मैं एक बंदे को प्रिजन से रिलीज करने के लिए बोल रही हूँ. Then I'll be coming under section 364A. फिर 365 का, मैंने एक बंदे को एबडक्ट किया है. ओके, उसको मेरे को मेरे पास रखना है, एंड दैट इज द रीजन आई हैव एबडक्टेड एंड किडनैप्ड दैट पर्सन एंड आई एम सीक्रेटली एंड रॉन्गफुली कन्फाइनिंग दैट पर्सन, कि उसकी जानकारी किसी को भी नहीं मिल रही है. Whatever may be the reason, I have kept that person hidden with me with an intention to confine him. अब जो मैंने उसको confine करके रखा है, then I'll be coming under section 365. And coming to the example or illustration of section 366, यहाँ पे एक फीमेल को हम लोग ने इंड्यूस किया कि we are going to give you a job. Okay, हम लोग आपको मॉडलिंग के लिए लेके जाते हैं. वो मॉडलिंग के लिए I have induced that person to move from person place A to person place B. She has moved from that place. Okay, I have taken her from the lawful guardianship, or I have kidnapped. Or take another example for kidnapping or abduction. मैंने एक बंदी को धमकी दे के वो जगह से मैं लेके आई कि मेरे को तुझसे शादी करनी है, तू मेरे साथ आ. मैंने इसके पहले आपको इलस्ट्रेशन दिया. I have taken that person on the gun point. Now after taking that person, she is not willing to marry. यहाँ पे only the offense is related to women. मैंने उसको लेके आई, उसके लेके आने के बाद मैं उसके साथ जबरदस्ती शादी कर रही हूँ अगेंस्ट हर विल, देन दैट एक्ट विल बी कमिंग अंडर सेक्शन 366. और आई नो कि मैं उसको किडनैप या अबडक्ट कर रही हूँ, उसके बाद उसकी शादी अगेंस्ट हर विल होगी, देन इन दैट केस अगेन आई एम कमिंग अंडर सेक्शन 366. और आई नो कि उसके साथ इलिसिट इंटरकोर्स होने वाला है. फॉर एन इलिसिट इंटरकोर्स रीजन मैंने वो फीमेल को किडनैप या अबडक्ट किया है, then too I will be coming under section 366. Or I know that she would be involved into illicit, or she will be forced into illicit intercourse, then too I'll be coming under section 366 of IPC. Section 366A, procuration of minor child. Whoever by any means whatsoever induces any minor girl under the age of 18 to go from any place or to any act with intent that such girl may be, or knowing that it is likely that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse with another man, shall be punished with imprisonment for 10 years and shall also be liable to fine. So here the accused must have induced a girl. The girl must be a minor child below the age of 18 years. The girl must be induced to go from a place or do any act with intent or knowledge that she would be forced to or seduced to illicit intercourse. Okay, so now coming to section 366B, which deals with importation of girl from foreign country. Whoever imports into India from any country outside India or from the state of Jammu and Kashmir any girl under the age of 21 years with intent that she may be, or knowing it to be likely that she will be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse with another person, shall be punished with imprisonment which may extend to 10 years and shall be liable to fine. So यहाँ पे ingredients क्या क्या हैं? First ingredient है कि हम लोग ने इंडिया में इंपोर्ट किया है फ्रॉम प्लेस आउटसाइड इंडिया इंक्लूडिंग द स्टेट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर. सेकेंड, यहाँ पे बच्ची जो बंदे को इंपोर्ट किया गया है लड़की को, उसकी एज है 21 इयर्स या उसके अंदर. थर्ड है Importation must be with the intent that the girl may be or knowingly that she is likely to be forced or seduced to illicit intercourse with another person. Okay. Then coming to section 367, which deals with kidnapping or abduction in order to subject person to grievous hurt or slavery. Whoever kidnaps or abducts any person in order that such person may be subjected or may be so disposed of as to be put in danger of being subject to grievous hurt or slavery or unnatural lust of any person, or knowing it to be likely that such person will be subjected to or disposed of, shall be imprisonment for either description for a term which may extend to 10 years and shall be liable to fine. तो यहाँ पे कौन कौन सी चीजें हैं कि accused बंदे, the accused has kidnapped or abducted any other person. The accused did so in order to subject the person for grievous hurt, slavery, or for gratification of unnatural lust of any person, and the accused knows that the said person is likely to be subjected. Either he has done it knowing that he will be subjected, or knows that the person is likely to be subjected to such grievous hurt or cruelty or unnatural lust, then that person will be coming under section 367. Then coming to section 368, which deals with unlawfully concealing or keeping in confinement kidnapped or abducted person. The section is read as whoever knowing that any person has been kidnapped or has been abducted wrongfully conceals or confines such person shall be punished in the same manner as if he had kidnapped or abducted such person with the same intention or knowledge of or for the same purpose as that with or for which he conceals or detains person in confinement. In simple words, section 368 is stating that I know that a person is being kidnapped and still I am concealing or I am keeping in confinement that person. So in that case, I will be considered that I will be punished in same manner as if I have kidnapped or abducted such person with the same intention or knowledge. So here the ingredient is that the person is being abducted or kidnapped, that I as an accused knew that the said person was being kidnapped or abducted, and despite knowing that I am wrongfully confining or concealing that said person was abducted or kidnapped. I am hiding the truth despite knowing that the person was kidnapped or abducted, and I am keeping that person in my lawful confinement, or I am concealing that the person is being kidnapped. Okay, then I'll be punished in the same manner as if I have kidnapped or abducted the person with that intention or knowledge. Now moving further to section 369, which is read as kidnapping or abducting child under 10 years with the intent to steal from its person. Whoever kidnaps or abducts any child under the age of 10 years with the intention of taking dishonestly any movable property from the person of such child shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 7 years and shall be liable to fine. तो यहाँ पर accused ने kidnap या abduct किया एक child को, the age limit is under the age of 10 years, and the intention, the second ingredient is the intention is to take dishonestly some movable property from the person of such child. Okay, तो यहाँ पे simple illustration, I have kidnapped a person, child of the age of 6 years. अब उससे related person कौन रहेंगे, जो उसकी lawful guardian रहेंगे, with an intention of dishonestly taking a movable property from the person interested in the child. Then I'll be coming under section 369. With this, I have done with the concept of abduction and kidnapping.